Welcome to Been There, Watch That, and we are back with another movie review. Check us out on all the socials, or at least Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just type in BTWT Pod for Been There, Watch That. BeenThereWatchThat.com. You can go back, see, how we've come along in this process, how we've evolved as reviewers, some of our hits, our misses, mostly hits, I think. This week, Mel Gibson's back after a long little time off from. This is a 1994 film, Maverick. This is a fan pick, by the way. We received some recommendations here and there, and then we'll pick a random one this time. Dave knew about this one. I had no idea, so this is totally new to me, and this is from our fan pick list.
Yeah, Justin and I was having this discussion before the show. Justin thought it was Mel Gibson's first appearance. No, we just buried him for so long we forgot that. But he's made a couple appearances before.
Yeah, some controversy he's raised in the past with some of his performances in Mad Max and Road Warrior.
Which I'm still laying on Dave's doorstep, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
70 episodes later.
He finally makes it back around.
So this is kind of a, you'd call it a Western comedy, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Western comedy, adventure, action.
Yeah.
It's all rolled up in this one, but
A little romance in there, a little rom-com.
Yeah.
I like it. You want to go over the casting call?
I sure can.
All right.
So this film is...
It's got a good cast.
This film update of the Maverick TV series finds the title card shark hoping to join a poker contest with an impressive payoff. In order to enter, Maverick must first put up a large cash sum. He scams hopeful contestants Annabelle and Angel in a preliminary card game to win the money he needs, making enemies of both players. While trying to evade Annabelle and Angel, the crafty Maverick realizes a cunning marshal is also on his tail. So
Corey Feldman's in this.
there's a lot of people that I didn't realize.
I didn't realize Corey Feldman was in it.
So the movie stars Mel Gibson. He plays Brett Maverick, and and he's known, unfortunately, for the Mad Max series, which is in our archives. If you don't watch the movies, but if you want some entertaining, watch those episodes.
Die Hard.
Yes, episodes 4 and 5, if you want to go back to those.
Lethal Weapon movies, Ransom, Braveheart. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Jodie Foster plays Annabelle Bransford. She's known for Silence of the Lambs and Contact.
Oh, the Panic Room. That's one of her better ones.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
James Garner plays Marshall Zane Cooper, and he's known for The Notebook, The Rockford Files, and Space Cowboys. Graham Greene plays Joseph, and he's known for Longmire, The Red Green Show, The Green Mile, and Dances with Wolves. Alfred Molina plays Angel, and he's known for Spider-Man 2 and Boogie Nights. Dan Hedaya plays the twitchy riverboat poker player, and he's known for Cheers, The Usual Suspects, which is in our archives, and Clueless. Denver Pyle plays the old gambler on the riverboat, and he's known for The Andy Griffith Show and Dukes of Hazzard. Clint Black plays the sweet-faced gambler, and he's known for Anger Management, and that's the country music superstar Clint Black.
Is it really?
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and we'll get down here shortly, but there's several country singers made appearances in the movie that you may have
That's
not
pretty
seen.
cool.
And Art LaFleur he's one of the poker players at the first poker match. He's known for The Sandlot and Field of Dreams. And that is your casting call.
Nice.
So talking about the country music stars, Carlene Carter plays a waitress on the riverboat. Hal Ketchum was a bank robber. Vince Gill was a spectator at the poker game.
Really?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Waylon Jennings and Kathy Mattea were two people with guns on the riverboat, and Reba McEntire even made a cameo in there.
Reba McEntire. My God, it's got a lot of people in it then. I didn't realize.
And of course, we can't forget Danny Glover.
Right. That was funny. So where does this open? Where does this start? I mean, the arc of the story is trying to get to St. Louis, right, for this
Poker tournament.
big time poker game where you can win $500,000. Do you know where it opens though? I mean, clearly it opens way out west somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't see an exact location. Dave, did you see?
No, not really. I mean, they just talk about he's working his way over there.
Total desert and saloons and the old west sort of look to it. I was commenting, to Joe before the show, Dave, that I mean, pretty much anything that appears one way in this movie, you can be pretty sure in about 20, 30 seconds it's going to get turned on its head.
Yeah.
The twists and turns are constant with this one.
And they're quick.
Yeah.
But not really. But you don't really expect them though. That's what I like. It was like, okay, I'm expecting this turn to come. It's like, yeah, there was a lot and it was fast, but it wasn't like I went, oh yeah, here's the turn. It literally caught you off guard every time.
I mean, even just that clip I played before we started, it's Mel Gibson, Brett, Maverick,
Bert.
and he's just in a saloon gonna play cards with some guys, and he does this whole act where and I totally believed it, that he's basically just like a spineless poker player. He's like totally afraid of this kid who's a gunslinger, but then it's all just an act that he's like putting on. Then he whips his gun out so fast that the kid didn't even have time to blink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Hawden.
So his character starts as one thing, and then you realize like, oh wow, he's got all these gun skills as well. He's not just this poker player guy.
Yeah, and it's funny how it all unravels. Like literally everybody that he has interactions with, that at some point you find out that there's more than what you see. There's more going on than what's on the surface.
Yeah, like the folks that are heading out west to start their religious community or whatever, they get surrounded by Indians, but then he actually knows the Indians the whole time, and he knows how to speak their language, and all the white people don't know what he's saying, and he's kind of telling them like, pretend you're really mad and all this stuff.
Yeah, point at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Point at him and speak angrily. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Gets in a big fight outside the saloon, but then turns out he had paid those guys off the whole time. Like
that. Yeah, his timing was really good with that. All right, listen, this guy's gonna come after me. You come rushing in, break it up, and make me look like the hero. Yeah. I really like when he had the meeting with him when he paid him, and he's like, yeah, thanks for taking it easy on us. Well, what do you mean? Those were my best shots. Well, that one kind of rung my bell a little,
Yeah.
It's like, what? Not real. He still plays it off with them. It's just constantly juggling.
Yeah. But now Justin brings up a very valid point. Justin, you want to mention the payout? They wouldn't.
Yeah, I thought maybe you're talking about the $100 bill.
Yes.
I thought because they cornered him in the alley. Those guys that he paid off to, he was going to pay them each $5 to pretend to fight him, but then he had gotten robbed like just before that by, was that Danny Glover?
Yeah, Danny Glover. That's a neat little scene.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the trick he was going to pull was he was going to pull that 100 out of his that he kept pinned to his suit.
Yeah. I
thought that was going to be a fake bill, and then he would take all their change and run off with it. But that never materialized. But as there were so many twists and turns coming, I thought, well, surely this can't be a real $100 bill. He's got this fake $100 bill in his pocket he uses on people.
I like, and those guys were like, oh, $100 bill. And he's like, I think you made out better than what you think. When he's sitting there saying, 17, 18 each. So yeah, he conned them.
Yeah, it's like they're like doing the math. That's like $25 each.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Danny Glover.
Yeah, was this after Lethal Weapon? This movie?
Yeah. So
that's what that little look was.
Yeah, that's what that look was. Is like they stop and look at each other long enough to almost recognize each other. So that's a nod to the Lethal Weapon franchise, all of which were directed by Richard Donner.
Yeah.
During their appearance on screen, the Lethal Weapon theme can be heard, and Glover departs and he says, "I'm getting too old for this stuff."
Yeah.
That's a line his character used frequently in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I've not watched Lethal Weapon, but but as soon as they stopped and looked at each other, it's like, that's got to be because of Lethal Weapon. Because you
haven't watched Lethal Weapon?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
It's on my watch list. It's on my watch list, but I've not watched it.
Goodness, Joe. It's like a staple.
Because Cena goes, "Is that Danny Glover?" And I'm going, "No, I don't think it is." And then when they stopped looking at each other, I was like, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah.
I mean, some of the gags in this movie, I mean, it borders on like spoof almost, like we,
Yeah.
well, who does Mel Brooks? It's almost like
Yes.
it turns into, but it never goes so far as a Mel Brooks. But
It's close a little bit when he finds the air quoting Indians that robbed the church building folks,
mm-hmm.
and he's sitting there. Oh, don't Zane Cooper gums his food, and Andy Branchard's so ugly, and none of them draw down on him. He's giving this little spiel.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit, and it looked super fake with the fire, fake fire and all that.
That was
like,
some of those one-liners are good. That
Yeah.
she came out backwards and no one
noticed.
when she was born and no one noticed. They had to tie a piece of meat around her neck to get the dog to play with her. She was so ugly or something. I mean, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, just a little bit, you said, spoofy,
It's
but
getting pretty
close to,
far into the comedy zone there.
Yeah, because Tina even mentioned, she said, this almost reminds you of Blazing Saddles. And I was like, to a point.
A little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But then they go back serious with the poker playing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the action sequences, they look good. Like, when that carriage is out of control and he's having to jump from horse to horse, I mean, that was some impressive shooting of an action scene there. I was like...
Yeah. Falls off the back and has to drag himself back up.
And they're like, what's he doing? What's he messing around doing out there?
Goofing off.
He's like holding on for dear life. That dead guy's head comes down.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. There's a ton of those moments, which makes this movie very fast-paced.
Yeah.
Yes.
And very entertaining.
I agree.
And it starts, like you said, Justin, with the poker game, and he meets everybody, and just keeps rolling. I really like that she starts just shrunk his shirt, his favorite shirt. Kick out of that. She's feisty, and trickery as well.
But he gives it right back to her. I mean, she'll be in the window seal, and he'll, can I help you? And then just push her over.
Yeah. James Gardner was in the original adaptation from 1957 to 62, which is a TV series. But he starred as Brett Maverick.
It'd be interesting to see if the TV series had plenty of that comedy thrown in.
Yeah.
I imagine it probably did. They take a lot of the serious. They'll set up a scene like a card game with that angel guy who's kind of menacing, and they'll set it up kind of serious, but then they let Mel Gibson go off and use his wit and his shenanigans to almost turn it into a comedy scene.
Yeah, to get him out of whatever situations he's in. Oh man.
Well, and it's even funny because when they had him strung up in a noose on the tree, and dumped snakes down there for his horse.
Yeah, I watched it. I said, "Oh, that's brilliant."
Mm-hmm.
I never gave that a thought, but that's smart. We'll just leave you out here by yourself, and
just that whole thing of he's on his horse with a noose around his neck, so he's telling his horse whoa, don't take off, don't run.
Yeah.
Just that was funny. The horse would walk forward a little bit, so it would tighten it. He's like, wait, don't.
Get back here, get back here.
Good scenes.
I was going through my notes here, and I had missed one cameo, Alice Cooper.
Really?
But his scene was cut.
So how do you cut Alice Cooper out, man?
Well, I was like, okay, how? So if I told you that there was a movie that had Mel Gibson, Vince Gill, Clint Black, Reba McEntire, and Alice Cooper all in one, would you think I was crazy?
Yeah.
But here we are. So Jodie Foster's character's her gracelessness in the film stems from the first scene she shot when she waited for Mel Gibson to help her down from the stagecoach and where she fell. That wasn't on purpose.
That was a real fall.
Yeah, that was a real fall.
How cool was that?
Yeah, he liked it. The director Richard Donner liked it so much that he kept the shot in the film and staged more scenes of Foster stumbling, being dumped through windows, etc. That was by pure accident, and he incorporated that into the character.
Nice. And there's a couple of throwbacks to Lethal Weapon. His shirt getting shrunk, which you wouldn't know because you haven't seen Lethal Weapon. And then, of course, Danny Glover's cameo.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. They did a lot of background work on this movie.
I have a small list of Would You Rather. You guys want to play Would You Rather?
Yep.
You betcha.
All right. So, this is just for Annabelle. So, for Annabelle, would you rather have Jodie Foster or Meg Ryan?
No, Jodie Foster. Meg Ryan's too cute, innocent type. Too mousy.
Okay.
I thought Jodie Foster had a little bit of grit to her, which made it believable.
Justin?
In another universe, maybe I can see Meg Ryan pulling it off. I don't know. That's a tough one for me.
What about Julia Roberts?
No.
Yeah.
That was me. I couldn't. As a great actress as Julia Roberts is, I couldn't see her in that role.
Nope.
She had some stern grit in Erin Brockovich,
Mm-hmm.
but she kind of plays like sweetheart roles.
Yeah.
Not the scoundrel.
Yeah.
Can't picture her robbing people.
Right.
I mean, she probably does in the Ocean's movies, but.
She tries. She didn't pull it off.
Okay.
And see, that's where I was going. Is like, I can't see her being that gritty person that you need. Last and certainly not least, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Nah. Jodie Foster's just kind of. I think she met it well because she's looks like she could be grumpy.
Yeah.
And conning.
I agree. Can't quite see Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
But that's all I have for.
That's it.
Yeah. It was just, I couldn't find a lot for Would You Rather.
Well, I mean, James Coburn fit his role well. Cooper was played well by James Garner, I thought.
Yep.
They had like the voices and that older guy disposition.
Yeah.
So.
The guy who played Angel, the Spaniard, he was good.
Yeah, he's very good. He had the right accent, right look, just enough grit about him to be mean and believable.
And the Commodore was believable.
Yeah, that's James Coburn. Yeah. So, how would you describe this movie to somebody? What's the most poignant part you remember?
It's a wild ride. It's a Mel Gibson in a Western with just
not your cut of the mill Western.
Not what I was expecting at all.
I kind of go back to the fight scene in the bar, in the saloon when they're playing cards.
That's
that seems to sum up the whole movie for me. It's not exactly what you think it is, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's fast.
Yeah. That's where I was kind of leaning towards too, is that whole first poker game, because that sets the stage of what the rest of the movie is all about.
And that cadence just keeps on going.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, Justin, one after another, just boom, 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 boom. So there's action, there's comedy, and there's something funny about it, and you never really know where it's going because it switches.
Super fast paced movie.
And the pacing of it, like, there's not any points of going, oh, this is miserable. And there's not so many switch and gotchas that you're just rolling your eyes going, really, another gotcha. It keeps you intrigued all the way through, so very well done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I liked the drama of the final card pull at the very end. He needed an ace of spades, I think.
Yep, for a full
and
flush.
that whole harkening back to the beginning of the movie where he claimed that he could think really hard about a card and pull it.
Yeah.
Magic.
They did a good job with that too. He's in the mirror, they're building it up. You kind of knew that he wasn't going to pull the right one, but still they built up the tension and made it serious for a second. And he's like thinking back when he was a boy, and he could pull a card, and then he pulls it, it's wrong. He's like, ah, crap.
Yeah. Did you guys see his dad ended up being Cooper?
No.
Heck no.
How funny was that?
Yeah.
Did you guys see Cooper stealing the money?
No. I mean, I kind of, at that point, I was open to something crazy like that happening.
Right.
Because he had been total straight-laced lawman before that, and then suddenly he's stealing money. I'm like, where's this going?
Yep.
No, but the dad was the biggest shock to me, because there he has him at gunpoint. You have no idea where it's going. And then, well, my pappy said, I didn't say that. And Doug's heading under the water. I was like, oh, man. I told Sam, I said, that's his dad. She goes, I don't know. I didn't catch it. So we backed it up again just to make sure I heard it right.
Yeah. All right.
And that she knew somehow because they both knew the wrong lyrics.
the same way.
To,
the same way.
To Hallelujah. They had the same wrong
That's
lyrics.
what got me. You both sung Hallelujah the wrong way.
Yeah. And what song do they have at the opening credits at the end?
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah. It's funny. I felt like the cast hit home runs here. even the scoundrels in the fight, they were all believable. They looked the part. The one guy, kind of skinny scoundrel, he talked and had it, and he had the guy that was kind of mean in the background, didn't say a whole lot.
That guy on Angel's crew, his face was all jacked up.
With the bad eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy that this movie flirts with being so close to the line of being over the top that it doesn't. And it's just, this is not the movie I was expecting, and I'm glad.
Yeah,
and I'm glad for it.
Yeah.
I had no idea
I knew you guys would like it.
what we were getting into.
I hadn't thought about it for a long time, but I remember seeing it and having a good time watching it. Like, it was fun to watch.
My only complaint.
There we go.
Here we go. Joe just can't let it be a good thing.
Well, now let me state my complaint, and I guarantee you guys will
I'm
agree
just
with
messing
me.
with you. There's several complaints I have too.
My only complaint is anytime I try to look up this movie, the first thing anything on the internet shows is that the new Top Gun movie.
Tom
Maverick.
Cruise's
Yeah.
stupid face. Yeah, you gotta type in 1994.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to type in the Maverick 1994 to get this movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Tom Cruise. I want to see this.
Yeah.
Because because that other movie, it's Top Gun Maverick. This is Maverick. So it's
exactly.
like Google's like pushing the Top Gun thing.
Exactly. That's my complaint.
Yeah.
That's your complaint.
I have several complaints. But I'm going to start off with what I thought was neat. I like some of the one-liners. I like when he's like riding a bicycle and the Indian kids are pushing him.
Yes.
And then I like where Joseph says, he's like, oh, you guys sure can pick the place. He's like, yeah, next time I'm going to go to this most god-awful place and you guys will leave me alone. And I was like, man, what a slam to history.
Yes.
So, but true, very true. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how many people are aware of this, but if you go out west, Indian reservations are on freaking rock and sand. There's nothing nice.
Yeah, next time I'll put it on the swamp and you guys won't come and get it.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, I thought Joseph was other than Maverick, Joseph was my favorite character in the entire movie.
Now, what I didn't like was the interaction with the Russian Archduke. I thought that was played up way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that whole scenario was silly. He's Indian, he's old, he's dying anyway. We don't really like him much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was silly.
Because, somebody that's into hunting wouldn't hunt like that.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought that part was silly. That was a disappointing part for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how it tied back into the riverboat. We're $6,000 short, sir. There's Indian affairs. But I don't know. There's a lot of lead back to that. Even when the church builders, it was Indians. I tell you, no, man, that's not Indians. So they kind of
every part of the story
played on the ignorance of white people.
They didn't just do like one thing and it never come back. Like things got tied back in. Like you said, being the guy who
Mary Margaret
went and stole money off him, threatened to throw the Russian guy in jail because he was like investigating the murder of an Indian. But I agree that running around and getting shot at and was a little crazy, over the top.
Well, it's just like, are you not going to go bury him? Nah, we don't like him much anyway. Let the crows have him. Just kind of that part. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anything else stick out as over the top?
I don't know. I thought it was funny too. Just the thing that comes to mind is he hands the kid his pistol. Like, look, they start whooping on me. You shoot me, okay? The kid's sitting on the side holding his gun, waving it around.
Well, see, I didn't even consider that over the top. I just thought that was funny.
It was funny. I'm just saying. I was just thinking of scenes that I really got a kick out of.
Mhm.
Really glad I didn't have to shoot you, mister. Me too. But I mean, hand the kid your gun and say, all right, listen, it gets bad. Shoot me.
Yeah. Well, I just
Not shoot them. Shoot me.
Yeah. I just took it as like a pride thing. It was like, you know what? If I'm gonna get my butt kicked, I don't want to live.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Here's my gun. Okay.
I was kind of surprised that he gave back $3,000 to the missionary ladies.
Yeah. Mary Margaret.
Yeah. What was that about?
His dad guilted him into it. You see him giving him a look. James Garner was just scowling at him, giving him a snake eye.
Yeah. So now that we know that he's dead, go back and watch it from the beginning. It'll be a completely different movie.
It is.
Well, yeah,
because his dad talks to him about how to treat women at the stagecoach.
Yeah.
giving the money back, not taking money from, because he's like, my pappy said, never take money from stranded women building a train. So that was all. I don't know if you guys caught that, but he kept throwing my pappy says.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and what's interesting now looking back is the whole scene where Maverick's on the rock cliff and almost falls to his death, and his dad literally just standing there.
Yeah.
It's like, looking back now, I was like, how can you still stay in character and not go like try to save your son?
Well, I mean, he helped him at the end.
Right, but it's like, how do you not just freak out from the beginning and just...
Yeah. I think that's part of the fun of it, though. It's like, mishaps happen.
Right, but it's just...
Yeah,
it's
I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You'd be more urgent to help your son.
Right. That you could keep this charade up that well to the point of, yeah, my son might die, and we'll keep the charade up.
Yeah.
That stagecoach driver shows up. He's old and hunched over and coughing. They're like, "You all right?" And he's like, "Why does everyone always ask me that?"
Yeah.
I'm fine. Just let me help me up there. Take it off. Oh man, wild movie. Totally not what I was expecting.
It's definitely different, interesting, and I do feel like it fit Mel Gibson's character. Like,
yes.
Lethal Weapon, he was the same way. It's kind of off the shtick of Die Hard. It's a little bit of comedy mixed with action, some shooting, some explosions.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought their play on irony, especially like the Native Americans and bank robbers, stuff like that. I thought that was kind of ironic and kind of fun. I'm really surprised they put it in there.
Yeah.
But action packed.
Yeah.
What did Cena think?
She loved it.
Yeah, I figured it'd be right up your all's alley.
Yeah.
Lots of action, some shooting, stuff like that. And it didn't look like they actually killed anybody. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I don't think so.
Like in the fire and stuff, he's shooting the guns out of their hands and hitting
Yes.
rocks upon their heads.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a guy would shoot their own guy. Like a guy would get
Yeah.
shot because he would duck down and some guy would
Yeah.
shoot the guy behind him or something. But
Until the very end. I don't know if you all noticed, but at the very end, Angel and his crew got killed.
how'd that happen?
They pulled guns out right at the very end. Claimed he was
Oh
shooting
yeah.
Angel. James Garner, and then he shot, and then Mel Gibson pulled one of James Garner's guns and shot.
And that happened so fast. It wasn't until everyone was on the floor dead and then Mel Gibson puts his dad's gun back in his dad's holster. I'm like,
Yeah, he spins it.
he pulled it out of someone else's holster. That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
fast he was.
Yeah. Pretty funny. So did either of you think back and say, well, if I was back in the day, would you have practiced and been a gunslinger, or would you have been a con man?
Or both, like Maverick.
Or both like Maverick?
That's
yeah.
a lot of. Yeah. Seems like it'd be safer to be a gunslinger, but a harder life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really liked in the poker game, I'll promise I'll lose for the first hour. And I never cheat and I hardly ever bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all you did was sit there and watch for their tails.
Yeah.
So true poker style, and that came up in a couple other movies, The Gambler and
Yeah, I like the poker element of the movie. That's
Rounders.
that it wasn't all just running around shooting. That
Yeah.
you got the poker element as part of the main story.
A little bit of cleverness. And of course, there's a little bit of romance going on.
Oh yeah.
So the $25,000 needed for the entry fee was be approximately $600,000 in 2004.
And then $500,000. That's
Wow.
Yeah. Chunk of change.
Yeah.
that's a big payout.
Yeah, that's a huge payout. I was thinking about it because he said Zane Cooper will never be able to practice law again. And I was like, how much is $500,000? Would that be worth it in those days? But yeah, you could disappear with that then.
Oh yeah.
Just that scene where he's debating, where he wouldn't got back $30,000 for these sweet church-going ladies that got robbed.
Yeah.
And they promised him 10% back, so they're counting it out. They give him the $3,000. There's this whole scene where it's like they show Mel Gibson's face, and he's thinking about maybe giving the money back, and then they cut to a lady's face and a kid's face, and then they cut to a dog just kind of growling at him. I'm like,
Yeah.
if this was like a serious western, like no one would ever throw that in.
No.
It's that little bit of like spoof and funny aspect that they throw in. He's just like.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Rate this baby up. Anything else we want to cover? Find any cool facts about it or behind the scenes stuff? Well, did you guys already look at budget? You ready to guess budget?
No, I didn't look. I wanted to so bad.
It's
last
got a
night,
lot of
but-
people in it.
Yeah, I wanted to look at the budget, but I didn't.
50 million.
I'm gonna say 27.
75.
Oh,
Ooh.
man.
Made 183 at the box office.
Did it
Not bad.
really make
Not
its
bad.
money back? Well, I mean, that's a good cast. You got James Garner.
Yep.
Coburn, Jody, Mel. You got a whole crew there.
Yeah, I mean the
country singers.
the casting call was pretty heavy laden.
Yeah.
So the main steamboat where the poker game goes down, it's called the Portland. That's the name of that boat. Is the last remaining stern wheel tugboat in the U.S.
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, that was a real one.
Wow.
Interesting.
And wasn't part of the whole thing with like gambling on a boat was that you get around the legalities of it? If you're on the river, you're not technically.
I think it was still a thing, now.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like
I know some states don't allow gambling, but if you're in the river,
if you're on
different.
an island, like Wheeling Island or whatever.
Yeah, like if you're
Is
on
that
the,
what the Wheeling Island is?
I think
Uh,
so.
Maybe.
Man, that seems right because I know they do professional boxing, gambling. It was a big deal.
Yeah, because like if you're on the river, technically you're not. What is you're a man with no land basically, and I mean the laws are a little more loose.
Yeah, I think it's funny too. His friends wouldn't pay up the money they owed him.
Oh yeah. Everywhere he went, they're like, sorry.
Like they never found the body. Old lady, whatever her name was, conned me.
And then the banker guy, he's like, I don't have it, Maverick, sorry. And then the guy comes in, puts a gun in his face. He's like, all right, yep, here we go. I have it on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for being such a con man, Maverick just doesn't. He just lets people just. I don't have the money.
So yeah, Alice Cooper was a town drunk. Did you already say that, Joe?
Yeah,
But it got cut out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which is just, again, crazy to think. If you had a movie starring Mel Gibson, that you also had Waylon Jennings, Alice Cooper, Reba McEntire, Vince Gill, and Clint Black. If I told you that was a real movie, there's no possible way that people from that diverse of a lineup are all in the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's a lot of back and forth, the banter that I think makes it fast paced and unique.
Yeah.
Even like after she steals his wallet, he gets it back, she starts undressing and she says, no, I'm not gonna sleep with you in a million years. So she's like, I wouldn't want to ever anyway. She's like, well, why not? They have a lot of that back and forth. She stole his cufflinks, he stole her necklace, and they trade them back. And then he tells his dad in the bathhouse, fun of it's gonna be getting that money back.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been looking for that cufflink.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two are pretty good button heads throughout the movie. Entertaining. No idea that was his dad. I thought it was just kind of the square lawman guy.
I like too that they were looking backwards. You notice he starts off with the horse with a noose and how does one get here? Well, then he shows you.
He starts riding in on a donkey to town.
Yeah.
That thing's not worth a buck. Okay.
Deal.
I'll pay you $1 to take him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed this. I was happy that it came up. Great fan pick, excellent fan pick, because I knew I've seen it before and I remember it being fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But and I think you might have led to this, Joe. But the con man kept constantly getting conned by his friends.
Yeah.
that's such a unique perspective that I feel like was a backstory that didn't get brought to the front very much at all.
Yeah, because
It just led to funny situations, like you said, Justin, the bank robber, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I do have it on me," but he never really like holds it against them.
yeah, because at the poker table, he lets everybody know that he's not to be messed with.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, when it comes to his buddies, it's like, yeah, it'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to have this weird, like, total nonchalance about losing, like, thousands of dollars, which back then was, like you
Oh
said.
gosh. Yeah.
It's just like, well. But I guess part of that was, I mean, he knew when the guy made off with the $500,000, that was his dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in other cases, yeah, like Danny Glover comes in and steals. He never got that money back. I thought maybe he'd chase him down or something, but he came in, stole all that money, and he just kind of like, well, I'll find it somewhere else. I'll get it another way, sort of thing.
Or maybe he just like you said, at the end, it's like
The
it'll be
chase.
fun. Yeah, it'll be fun getting the money back.
Yeah.
He lives for that adrenaline rush of getting the money.
Yeah, and they all had that deadpan snarkiness. Yeah, just yeah, no worries. Like you said, Justin. I mean, $500,000. That's a ton of money back then.
Well, it's still a good chunk of money today.
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we bring it up, like, who could you recommend this to? What do you think, Dave? I mean, pretty much anybody?
I think so. It has a little bit of action. It's got a little bit of romance. It's ornery. It's fun. It's fast paced, easy to watch. So you guys know where I'm headed for this one.
Yeah.
No secret here.
Because it's
I
one
was
of those.
excited when we pulled this one out.
Because I'm not a Western fan,
Yeah, me neither.
but it's a Western movie for not a Western fan, and it's
Yeah.
not like
It's a silly Western almost.
yeah, but it's not a dumb Western. It's like
Yeah.
they watered it down. It's like you still have your solid rock hard bits of a Western, but they don't beat you over the head with it, and it's not so far away from Westerns. Like there's no possible way that this is a Western.
Yeah. Well, have you seen Young Guns with Emilio Estevez?
No.
Okay. It's pretty good, but it's a lot of riding around, a lot of running from people, running from the posse, a lot of pulling your guns, This didn't have that.
Yeah.
I mean, it did, but it didn't. So, I mean, it's just one of those. I don't know. It's about a movie about con men, and because you think about it, everybody there's a con man. There
Yeah.
wasn't one person that wasn't conning somebody.
Yeah.
Joseph conned him. They conned the Russian. All his friends that
Yeah.
even the widow. What the heck was her name?
Mhm.
Widow whatever conned him. His bank friend conned him. Just all the way around. Even the marshal Zane Cooper conned. And Coburn was in on the con.
They went super heavy with the conning and the twists and the turns and not knowing what's what.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty entertaining, kept it fast paced, but was very close to like going like overboard with the amount of times that they would do like misdirections and stuff. But it didn't bother me when it was all said and done. But it's like, because as soon as I saw something, I'm like, okay, well, something, about to change with that.
Right.
Anytime they introduce anything, you're like, well, that can't be true.
Well, and that's what gets me is like it flirts with that line of going way too over the top, but yet it pulls back just enough. It's like it flirts with that line, but it doesn't cross it.
The silliness too, I think it's just a couple things here and there. It gets pretty close to being like, what the heck? But
Yeah, they pull back.
when they pull back, yeah. So quite a little tightrope there walk with the style that they choose for this movie. But I would recommend anyone that loves fast-paced stuff. I mean, you're not going to sit around for 2 hours
Yeah.
with something
Yeah.
without something new to think about and be entertained by.
I keep circling back to the bar fight scene where he's like, "Wasn't you saying something to me right before that disturbance?" No. Didn't you call me gutless and a cheat? No, I just tease him, friend, tease him.
Yeah.
Oh, ha, ha. I don't like being teased.
Yeah.
Then I'm teasing you.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of little
Yeah,
stuff
he
was
was-
just funny.
He was messing with that angel guy big time.
Yeah. I like Joseph. He was as worldly and as modern as any white person, but yet being forced into going back to the Wild West playing the drum, or having the drums beating all the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Speaking in Indian.
it's driving me crazy. It's starting to annoy me, these drums beating all the time.
Yeah.
Did you know he spoke in French to him? Yeah.
Is that what they were speaking?
Yeah, he was speaking French when he first came up to the Archduke.
But,
Ready traditionally rolls his eyes. How?
yeah, that's what I love. How all these white people want how.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Archduke comes out and he like whispers to his friend like, "This guy's an a-hole."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hello."
Yeah.
Just totally playing him for his money. Then he got an extra 1,000 out of it.
Yeah.
Kept telling Maverick,
Yeah.
"Oh, I got him up to."
Up to 1,000. Yeah. You can have it all. You can have it all, buddy.
Yeah. Good old Joseph.
Yeah, he's self-deprecating the whole time. He feigned innocence, incompetence, foolhardiness, even stupidity. But then, in the end, he could shoot good. He could draw fast.
Yeah.
He could actually fight. Yeah.
Yeah, he fooled everybody and nobody.
I like too. They had their little conversations. Like, "Where's your Southern accent come from exactly? I'm having a hard time placing it." She's like, "Oh, you ever been to Mobile?"
Yeah.
And he's kind of waits her out. She's like, "Oh, you haven't? Well, that's where I'm from then."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Alabama? Yeah, of course. I've been all over. I probably know the same people. You first.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I try so hard to forget that place."
Yeah.
Con man and con woman.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, all right. What are you guys thinking?
Jodie Foster's still doing movies. 2021, The Mauritanian. I don't even know how to say that.
Martian?
Mauritanian.
Meridian. I don't know.
It's about 9/11 and stuff.
Oh.
All right, rate it up, baby.
I'll go first. I'm not afraid to say this is an overflowing large easily.
Ooh. I was gonna say Mop Bucket.
That's where I thought he was going.
I'm not afraid to say this is a.
Yeah, I would go Mop Bucket if I thought that it would genuinely appeal to everybody, but I think some people would find it too silly.
Yeah.
Like you said, Justin, it's just at the border of being too slapsticky, Mel Brooks almost.
Yeah.
And I feel like it crossed over a little bit for me at times. So, therefore, not a true Mop Bucket.
Right.
Because I think some of people would look at it and be like, this is kind of silly, stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what. Now you could talk me out of this. And Joe's giving me the stink eye, like I need to stop. So
No. I'm intrigued. I'm soaking it all in.
Okay. Well, where are you at?
I was torn. I was torn between an overflowing medium and a large. But based on your rating, I think I will go solid large on this one. But based on that and our conversation, again, I didn't feel that they went over the line over the slapstick.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they flirted with that line.
Yeah.
And if anything, they may have barely got the toe crossed,
Yeah.
but they didn't like fully step across that line. But it's a Western for people like me that don't like Westerns, but still love a good movie.
Good point, Joe.
This is it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't deny I was entertained the whole time. But yeah, like you said, Dave, would I go around recommending this to people? Not unless I knew if they would find it entertaining as well, because some people would totally roll their eyes at some of this stuff. And
I think if you didn't like thinking movies, you would not get the slapstick and some of the irony.
Yes.
I think it'd go over some people's heads.
Yes.
Because they're quick.
You got to pay attention.
Yeah, they're quick quips.
Yeah.
And you got to catch them, or else you miss them.
Yeah, you can't just watch this passively or pop in halfway through and.
Well, and the Danny Glover thing would make sense if you hadn't seen Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, you'd look at it and go, why are they
staring at each other
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, so I don't know. There's a little bit of that, and like some of the comments that like Joseph, next time we'll go pick some godforsaken place. If you didn't catch that, and you're not a history person, you'd be like, what the heck's that all about? But okay.
Mm-hmm. I would say anyone who's a fan of Mel Brooks style films, who hasn't seen this though, I think should check it out. And
Definitely.
It's not going to be the same thing, but it's going to be in that wheelhouse.
Yes.
And it's going to be entertaining. And I think part of like the strength of this movie also is potentially a little bit of the weakness in that, yes, it's very entertaining and fast paced, but at the expense of something there has to be a twist and turn like every scene pretty much, like I mentioned before, that in some ways it felt like it was so left, right, zigzag that at times it's like got just a little bit old of like what are they gonna flip on its head next, but not enough for me to take it down below a large. I'm gonna stick with a large on this one.
All right.
But to your point, they have all these zigs and zags, but you're still not going. You're not overwhelmed by it, and the story was still easy to follow.
Yeah.
That's what I really appreciate is where they have the zigs and zags, but you're still able to keep up with the story, because sometimes some of these movies they do zig and zags just for zig and zag's sake, and you're going, well, where'd that come from? Where's that going?
Yeah, and the goal was the same, to get to that poker game.
Yeah.
With the right 25 grand.
Which I appreciate.
He stayed on track, and all those things related to it. So that's a great point, Joe.
And that takes actual like writing skill to make it all connect and go in the.
Because how many times that went bad?
Yeah.
In movies.
And yeah, it wasn't just a zig that made no sense or a zig zag that you saw totally coming and then didn't pay off.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, now I see where that went, and that's pretty smart writing on that.
Man, you almost pushed me to mop bucket there, Joseph.
Game closed.
I'm tempted, but I don't know.
I don't know if
it didn't have the serious background that I like for mop buckets.
Right.
And I still think a lot of the stuff would go.
It's kind of hard to give a silly western a mop bucket,
Yeah.
even though it was very well done.
Yeah, I agree. It's an overflowing large. I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay.
Yep. Solid larges. I mean, this is a bona fide large for sure.
Yes.
I would recommend it to anyone who likes comedic.
And
stuff.
yeah, it's a little different from Mel Brooks. Still action.
Yeah.
Still comedy.
Right.
Probably, I think better action and more realistic action than Mel Brooks type stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
More of it.
I would be interested to see how, if we all sit down and watch Blazing Saddles, how it would compare to this as far as the popcorn scale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It might be a little side project. I haven't
think.
seen Blazing Saddles in a long time. Justin, do you have your pick ready?
I've got options for you guys. And,
Options. I like how it's been cut. You know, it used to be we were solid.
Yeah.
Now we're like,
Yeah,
what do you
I
think?
like,
Let's
I'm
get
getting
some
you
options
guys
here.
involved now.
Okay.
Here's the question. Do you want a chef, a farmer, or a basketball scout?
Ooh.
Oh, I can. All right, the chef's going to be burnt. The basketball scout's going to be the Adam Sandler one.
You got that one guessed. Okay.
Not burnt though.
No.
The chef.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, could be Ratatouille. That's true. There's one with a guy that's a chef in a food truck.
Yeah, I
The
think
Bob's
I know.
Burger movie.
I think I know.
It's more of a serious one.
I think I know what you're talking about. But no, not that one.
I know there's one more chef movie out there, not burnt, but crap. All right. Anyway, what was the farmer?
Yep.
Farmer.
The astronaut farmer?
No.
Okay. Just checking. That's kind of a neat Billy Bob Thornton movie. Guy, failed NASA guy, launched himself into space.
So you gotta picture these worlds. Which one do you want to?
All right, well,
Go
can you give us
into
a hint, like a comedy, drama, or is any of them a comedy or a drama that you can?
I wouldn't say any of them are comedies.
Any of them dramas?
Actually, from what I hear, the chef one is funny, but not a comedy. It's like
Oh, that's Ratatouille. Yeah.
maybe a dark,
I'm going for the chef
a
one.
black comedy.
Okay, yeah, let's go with the chef one.
All right. I gotta figure out what it's called again.
Oh my gosh! I don't even know what it's called. How am I going to describe this thing?
Boiling Point is my next
Boiling
pick.
Point.
Yep.
Boiling Point.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know. It's a new one.
Available on the Roku channel.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that one. This is kind of where I was leaning, but I wanted to give you the options, the three options.
Okay.
Do you like the looks of it, Joe? Boiling Point?
I'm intrigued.
It doesn't have like any real big name actors.
Yeah, I recognize the one guy from like Snatch, I think, Stephen Graham.
Yeah.
But other than that, maybe the Fleming guy. He's, I think, definitely British type cast, and I think the Jason Fleming maybe was in some of those Lock, Stock, or Snatch or something like that.
Based on a true story, Philip Berrettini. Okay. All right, good deal.
2021 Boiling Point.
No Reservations. That was the other one.
Yeah, you knew Basketball Scout. You guessed that instantly. That was Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
It's got good reviews though. I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, maybe I'll take it off my list. Let's get rid of that one.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just one. It's the same old story. Yeah, it's blue chip all over again. Et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
Finds a hidden talent somewhere where he didn't think he would. He's down and out. Puts all his chips on that cat. Gets through some adversity. Fights his way back. Everybody's happy in the end. Yay.
Yeah, I'll keep my Farmer on the list, but I'll get rid of my Basketball Scout.
Farmer. What was the Farmer one?
I don't know. It's a secret.
Come on.
I might pick in the future. So.
Okay.
All right. Maverick, good film. Solid scores. Large. Let's see if I don't pull another pig. I hope not. 'Cause that was another chef. That's the last chef.
Gosh.
Yeah, that movie came up Sunday night when we started watching this. Cena goes, well, this movie, Maverick was rated such and such on Rotten Tomatoes. I was going to tell you something. I said, Rotten Tomatoes killed all credibility in my book when they rated with Pig with 94% audience rate.
Yeah.
Or rated it certified fresh in the 94, 98%, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I said, they killed all credibility with that because that movie was garbage. She goes, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the critics praised, but I think both of them. For some reason, people on Rotten Tomatoes
Oh, that was just
for Pig.
That was the critics double voting.
That's craziness. I don't even. Yeah, whatever.
If that movie didn't have Nicolas Cage, it'd been a.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore, ever.
Yeah.
I think Dave would watch Howard the Duck over that.
I'll be honest, a tough call.
Yeah.
See, and you said that was the absolute worst movie you ever saw. See, it's not that bad.
This chef movie is gonna be better. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've heard of it. Here's the funny part. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Okay.
Somebody was talking about it, and I overheard it. But anyway, all right. I'm cool. I like it. I'm interested.
Okay.
I like chef movies. I like to eat.
Me too.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, take us out of here.
All right, so for more news and reviews, be sure to visit our website, beentherewatchthat.com. Be sure to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at BTWTPod. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Been There, Watch That. We're on all the major platforms, and all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
Wow, was that a recording, Joe? That was spot on.
You think they would have a recorder where you just push play instead of me having to do it every episode?
I like having you do it every time.
Tune in next week, Boiling Point. Get it on the Roku channel for free, if you got that.
All right, everybody. We're out of here. We've
been there. Watch that.